Greetings, true believers and fellow YouTubers. Cut you with my little Stan Lee impersonation at the beginning of this. Hi again, I'm Doyle, aka the Big D, of Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. And this time around, I am going to review one of my many favorite superhero flicks. It is Spider-Man from 2002. This is going to be the first installment of where I'm going to review all Spider-Man movies. Though I've already reviewed Spider-Man Homecoming, I'll be reviewing the Sam Raimi trilogy and the Amazing Spider-Man movies, plus Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Okay, and that'll be in order to promote the release of Spider-Man Far From Home, which is not too far away from release next week. So I look forward to it. When I do that, I'll be reviewing that. So for now, here's my review of Spider-Man from 2002, originally released by Columbia. Please don't sue. I am going to say that I really do love this movie. I actually remember going to the theater to see this. Now, if you saw my 2002 movie ranking list, I did mention about this. This was actually the second movie I went to see alone, aside from my mom. Of course, the first was Bring It On, but this was the second. I kind of went my separate ways when my mom and my aunts wanted to go see Divine Secrets of the Yaya Sisterhood, which was which was already out, and Spidey had been out for some time. I wanted to see it while it was still there. Well, that's what I did. When I watched it, I was absolutely impressed with it. It was very good. Directed by Sam Raimi, best known for directing the original Evil Dead series, as well as Darkman, and possibly several others. But he's done lots of other movies after doing Spidey. And its two sequels, of course. The movie stars Tobey Maguire in the title role, and as an alter ego, Peter Parker. Also in the cast is Kirsten Dunst, who I recently saw in Bring It On. Plus, she was in other movies like Jumanji and Small Soldiers as Mary Jane Watson. Willem Dafoe as Norman Osborn, aka the Green Goblin. James Franco as his son Harry Osborn. Rosemary Harris as Peter's Aunt May, Cliff Robertson as Uncle Ben, and J.K. Simmons as J. Jonah Jameson. Anyway, it's based on the popular comic strip of the same name. This came out in 2002, which actually was the year of 40 big years. 40 years since Spidey was first introduced in Amazing Fantasy. Anyway, we start by seeing Peter Parker as an average ordinary nerd trying to catch up with the others, but manages to get on the bus to go with him on this field trip to learn about science and what have you. Well, Harry Osborn isn't too thrilled to get on with all the others since he's riding with his dad Norman, but, well, catches up with Peter and actually gets to meet his dad. But anyway, meanwhile, Peter's just having trouble trying to get to know Mary Jane, and, well, he soon manages to get the chance, taking photos of her, but when there was one escaped super spider that they were looking at, there was one missing from a total of 15. It got on Peter's hand and oh man, it hurt. And soon it altered his DNA, and so he'd soon be getting some real strange things happen. Meanwhile, Norman Osborn is about to have a little bit of a situation, as his company could be in big jeopardy. He has to prove that his company can develop a special kind of working serum, or they'd lose their contract to Quest Labs. But apparently, when Norman decides to try out the human test, it turns out into a serious bit of serious effects. Sorry, I can't get the right words to come out. I apologize. But anyway, and Norman really goes out of control and destroys the people who just don't want him to keep going. Well, I'm not going to try and give the whole movie away because this would take a long time to do, because even though it's been a while since I've seen it, I don't have my DVD collection. I still have it on video cassette. So forgive me on that too. You'll have to not mind me apologizing so much, because I can't help myself from saying it. But anyway, back to the movie. Peter, Harry, and MJ are now graduating, and well, Harry and Peter become roommates, but however, I can say one other thing, but actually before this even happened, I got ahead of myself, skipped ahead of one part. Now, Peter gets a bit of a lecture from his Uncle Ben, and tells him with great power comes great responsibility. So, well, but he kind of got in a bit of an argument with Uncle Ben, Peter did. So he goes off to a wrestling arena and fights off with Bonesaw McGraw, played by late great wrestler Randy Macho Man Savage. Really fun moment, and I do love that. But soon later on, after graduation, a new threat comes in the form of Green Goblin. Now, of course, Peter manages to get himself a new suit fix up, and he becomes Spider-Man, becoming big, but except to J. Jonah Jameson, the head of the Daily Bugle, whose only goal is to prove that Spidey is a menace to the world rather than a hero. But hey, J.K. Simmons does a great job on the character. All the cast was great. The music in this was great. I have the soundtrack, which included Hero, done by Chad Kroeger, the frontman of Nickelback, along with a little bit of backing help from Josie Scott of the band Saliva. Plus, I had lots of very good songs, and What We're All About by the Canadian rock band Sum 41. I was big on those three bands at the time. And also had a great score done by Danny Elfman, who, of course, this would be another superhero movie he's done for. I know he did the music for the first two Batman movies, Tim Burton did. I do believe he also did the music for Darkman. Plus, he did music for lots of other movies. He's a pretty good composer. He's one of my favorites. But anyways, Spidey gets into a real good fight against Goblin and saves MJ, and well, soon kind of figures out who Spidey really is. Cat scares Aunt May and puts her in the hospital, and because she's an absolute fright, and Mary Jane soon gets kidnapped by Goblin, and well, Spidey gets into one big final battle to prove what a true hero really is. Or, well, you know what I mean. But I do love this movie. I really won't give too much details on the ending, but I will go on. But hey, a lot of y'all have probably seen it, so I'll go ahead. But if you have not seen Spider-Man from Sam Raimi, stop the video immediately, as I will give the ending right now. I'm gonna say the final confrontation with Goblin in this whole building is really good. And, well, Goblin reveals who he is. Spy's in shock. But soon he manages to fire up his glider to kill Spy, but it backfires, and its sharp razors pierce right through Osborn, killing him. Not to tell Harry. But in the end, after the funeral, Harry said he didn't lose his father, he was stolen. He swore that Spider-Man will pay. And tells that Peter he's the only family he's got. Well, that's about it. That's all I'm gonna say. But anyway, Spider-Man in the end is awesome. I love this movie. I may have it on video, but don't worry, I got a good memory of remembering it. Years later, I actually got the PlayStation 2 game of the movie, while it might loosely have followed some of the movie. But, which I do have, but despite my PlayStation 2 is no longer working well, I still have the game, but it's unfortunately in a different packaging, not the original packaging. Still, it's worth checking out if you have not seen it. Spider-Man shared box office records, making a big, I believe 112 million, or maybe it was 113 million its opening weekend. That was bigger than any other movie I encountered in box office reports. This was pretty darn big. So anyway, what did you think of Spider-Man? Tell me what you thought about this in the comments section. Like and subscribe. And I want to thank you for watching. And check me out tomorrow, as I will review Spider-Man 2 in time for its 15th anniversary. Yes, I'm going to review Spider-Man 2, and then after that I'll review Spider-Man 3 possibly, although I do have 20th anniversary reviews coming up for South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, and Wild Wild West, but I might throw in Spider-Man 3 perhaps. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, until next time, true believers, Excelsior!